Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to install a Renown steering wheel and works bell hub setup on my friend's NSX. And so we have here the Honda 290S short hub, along with the works bell flipper. So this is going to allow you to flip this steering wheel up and out of the way to allow you to get in the car easier. All of this is brand new. It's a Renown steering wheel. It's a cool look, kind of similar look to the Type S steering wheel with a pad. And it comes with horn button and badge. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so the first step whenever working on any electronics, like especially the SRS system, is to disconnect the negative post of the battery and let it hang out for about 5 or 10 minutes to let it discharge, and then we can go ahead and start removing the steering wheel. So we've already popped off some of the side panels, and we're gonna disconnect this yellow plugs are always SRS plugs. I'm gonna disconnect that and then unbolt the horn pad, the airbag pad, and then we can get to the center nut of the steering wheel. So we're gonna go ahead and press this clip to release this. And if you saw my last video for the steering wheel, located on this panel, there's a red plug that you can plug into the airbag to keep it from, I guess, getting static charge and accidentally deploying. But we don't have that right now, so let's go ahead and remove the bolts holding in the airbag from both sides. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this bottom Torx. And then there's a Torx bit on the side right here. This one. And this top one is supposed to have a Torx in it, but that looks like a 10 millimeter. Then, now with the one on the right side and two on the left side off, we should be able to take out the horn and the airbag like so. Just set it aside carefully. All right, this car is a 97 and this red plug was right here. I don't know if that's where they just changed the location. Newer NSXs, so go ahead and plug this into the airbag plug. All right, and so remove this plug right here, and then again on my older video I showed you there's a clip on the right behind this ribbon that you need to pull back on. This clip right here, this clip in the middle right here. So you're gonna go ahead and kind of reach around this ribbon and pull it out in order to get this done. So now the steering wheel is completely separate from the ABS, the SRS reel, and then you can all that's holding the steering wheel on is this center nut right here. All right, so now I just hit this center with a 19 millimeter socket. There you go. And then the steering wheel should come off. And just make sure to keep it straight and make sure you don't pull on these plugs in the wrong way and break them. Okay, so the best part about using the works bell hub is that it retains the SRS reel. So if you've seen my other video for the Type S steering wheel, you know that the OEM hub does not retain this reel, and so it requires a lot more work. You have to take apart this whole steering column area in order to remove and get access to unplug the SRS reel. So because we don't have to do that, because we're keeping this, that's pretty much all we have to disassemble. Now all we do is put the works bell hub on, wire up the plugs to kill the airbag lights, and then just bolt on the quick release, or not the quick release, but the tilt system and the steering wheel. So this is a very straightforward installation, and I highly recommend this over the OEM hub. Okay, so here is the WorksBell short hub, and as you can see, it comes with this nicely machined CNC machined aluminum part where it has 2 holes drilled in there for these pegs on the SRS reel, and this bottom part is open for the wiring to come through. So that wiring is going to come through the back right here and sit inside here. That's probably the most difficult part of this installation, is wrapping all the wiring up in this area, because this plug's kind of large. Plus you have to fit these in there. So this comes with the WorksBell hub. It's light cancellation and horn connection, everything like that. Comes with hardware. I forgot to show you guys earlier. But we're gonna go ahead and install that, and it comes with instructions. Even though it's in Japanese, it's very straightforward. There's a large gap between 2 of the pins, and so you're just gonna attach it to those 2 pins. This male piece is going to attach to what was for the horn, I believe, this black plug, and then this third ribbon with the 3 pins, you're going to attach this green wiring to the third plug. So very straightforward. I'll show you how to do it right now. Okay, so first I'm going to grab this third plug and grab this green wire and stick it on the 2 outer pins. Like that. Then grab the black wire and this larger yellow plug with the clips facing down is going to go on the farthest right, and the second to the farthest right. So easy like that, just follow the pictures. And this red one, I'm going to just plug in right now to that, and then we're good to install the hub. So the hub, take this off first. All right, so the hub here, this is the hub without the covering on it. So the top is going to be noted by this indent right here, and obviously the hole in the hub for the wiring is going to come out on the top, as you can see. So we're going to fish the wiring through and then put the hub on. Forgot to mention also, there's 2 indents in the back of this hub right here, and it's got to line up with those indentations on that brass, those tabs on the brass piece in there. So that's why you're going to have to make sure the steering wheel is straight and lined up. So I got everything fished through. I'm going to set it straight, and you'll know if it's in all the way because it sits pretty flush with the back. I want to make sure these wires are fully pulled through. And there's a good look at it to see how far it actually sits in. And now you just throw the nut on and torque it. Well, you have to put on the steering wheel in order to torque it first, but I'll throw the nut on right now first. So I couldn't fit the steering wheel on here because it's a short hub and the steering wheel is hitting the stocks. So we're using this filter wrench with a rubber grip to hold this and allow us to torque it on. All right, so the tough part, like I said before, is getting all this to fit in here. Simply, one of the reasons is because you don't really want to damage these ribbon harness. So they come out flat this way out of the top, but you need to curve it around this way, and it kind of doesn't work that great. So you just kind of gotta do your best to shove these in here. So I'll show you what I come up with. Don't forget to install this cover before you put on the flipper, because you're not going to be able to get it on afterwards. So you can see that once you start wrapping it, and then these plugs are very large, and then they want to terminate in the same spot. So you kind of just gotta start shoving everything in carefully. And of course you want to leave this one out because this is going to connect to the grounding rings on the back of the tilt hub. to allow you to use your horn. All right, so this is what the current setup is. I have the red wire connected to the red wire from the hub connected to the red wire on the SRS reel, and going through the middle of this grounding ring, because the grounding ring is going to have to bolt on to the short hub, and the blue wire is connected to the black wire that's grounded to the grounding ring. So again, you're going to have to fit all of this in here in order for you to bolt it up. Okay, so I rearranged everything off camera. Basically, I shoved the larger clip past the center nut. It's a tight fit, but the clip has a little bit of give because it's plastic, so I shoved it in completely to the right and far in. And this smaller plug is still in center above the nut, and then basically pushed the grounding plug, the black plug for the horn, on the left side, and the rest of it, as you can see here. So it's pretty flush, and then now I should be able to mount this with this piece on the bottom. So you're gonna go ahead and mount it like that. Okay, so at this point, it's good to test, and I touched these two together, the metal parts, to make sure the horn worked, and obviously connect the battery up really quick before you do that, and then put the key in, turn to 2, and watch the airbag light go off. So after 5 seconds or so, so that way you don't get too far before you have to check your wiring again. So we got the wiring in, got this, just need to screw this last bolt in, and then the tilt hub is on, and then you just put on the steering wheel, and then you're done. So go ahead and do that right now. All right, so we got the steering wheel bolted up, and now you just need to hook up your horn button. Power to the red, ground to black, and put on this pad for this steering wheel, and you're done. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. So guys, sometimes this happens too. This tab is too wide for this plug, so you're gonna have to shave it down a little bit in order for it to fit. All right, for this particular steering wheel, I had to shave down the tab this much, as you can see, in order to fit it on this plug. For some reason, the Works bell is kind of like this. You can see that the power is a lot thicker, a lot wider than the ground wire. So you may have to do the same. I just took a little Dremel to it. You can use a file or whatever you have in order to shave this down. But this side's the ground, this side's the power, and after that, you just stick it in and you're good to go. All right, we got the horn button in. So we had to remove the grounding ring, the silver ring with a slit in it that comes with the short hub for this particular steering wheel. It's not going to be the same for every other steering wheel. Just this horn button fits directly, very tightly into this steering wheel. And so we had to remove that ring, and it's grounding on the hub, so the horn works and everything. So just gotta make sure that works. So last but not least, just put on the horn. Well, I guess second to last is put on the horn pad and then the adhesive horn button. All right, so we have the pad on and the flip hub. It's actually really nice. So you just kind of grab it and tilt it towards you like that, and then lift it up. Give you a demonstration at the end. But we have Tony doing the honors on the horn emblem. It's not a big deal if you don't get it straight, because you could just rotate the actual horn button. But
that's pretty straight though.
There it is.
Yeah.
Good job, man. Congratulations. And there we go.
Ooh,
very nice.
So good.
This steering wheel feels really good. I really like it, actually. I've never heard of the steering wheel brand before, but it feels really good. And with the short hub and the flipper hub, I thought that it was going to be too thick, but it's actually pretty much like factory distance to the stocks, turn signal stocks and windshield wiper stocks. So that's really nice. Very impressed.